Disney has officially scrapped and confused The Lion King's history. Let's get into this.
ChrisCross. Oh, here we go, yo. ChrisCross.
Hey guys, and welcome to ChrisCrossMedia. My name is Chris, and it's been a good while since the last video. Yeah, it's been a couple months, but I've been so busy helping the good people over at Cinemassacre, so I needed a little break, but definitely check out my work over there. But guys, ChrisCross is back, and it's time to just jump into some scrap things. And today, we are talking about Scar, and how he got his iconic scar. So without further ado, Scar, the brother of King Mufasa, the almost heir to the Pride Lands, the iconic villain from Disney's The Lion King, has had a pretty jumbled origin story, especially when it comes to how he got his iconic name and Scar. And yes, that's not even his real name. It's only a nickname given to him after receiving his permanent markings. Now, the best way to start this video is, I think, at the beginning.
We're going way back to before the beginning.
The Lion King was a smash hit for Disney with its release in the summer of 1994, and you can bet your bottom dollar that Disney was quick to make a buck and merchandise the heck out of it. Toys, fast food, clothing, TV shows, Broadway, games, theme parks, it didn't end. And for me, this made me very happy. Now this leads us to a collection of spin-off books called The Lion King 6 New Adventures. This was released shortly after the film, one of which I had the pleasure of owning. Now these books served as additional tales that today add more confusion to the Lion King lore than you can possibly imagine. You can find more on that here in this video. But fans of the hit film seem to use these 6 little stories as concrete building blocks to the Lion King, such as Simba and Nala having a son named Kopa, and the reason why I'm making this video, the backstory on Mufasa and his brother Taka, also known as Scar.
I'm surrounded by idiots.
Taka, which when translated in Swahili means waste, but also means wish, I guess. I saw a few things pop up, so I don't know exactly which it is. Let's go with waste. And maybe he would have preferred his nickname Scar, but I digress. In the story Tale of Two Brothers, we're introduced to a young Mufasa and Taka. Taka has just learned his older brother Mufasa will be chosen to be king, and he's really upset. So this is where Taka meets Shenzi, Banzai, and Ed, the iconic hyenas from the first film, who give him the idea that he can make Mufasa look like a failure, and in doing so, would make him look like a better fit for the throne. Now during this time, the Pride Lands was going through a major drought, and Boma, a Cape buffalo, was refusing to share any of the water at the watering hole. So Taka uses this opportunity to trick Mufasa into confronting the vicious buffalo. As Mufasa tries to reason with Boma, Taka roars and proclaims that if he doesn't listen to the king, he will have to fight him. And this doesn't sit well with Boma, so he charges for Mufasa, who evades the attack and hits Taka instead. This is when Boma's full herd comes in, slashing at Taka. And of course, the good guy Mufasa comes to his brother's aid, but this is when their father comes with a herd of animals surrounding the buffalo to save the 2 young lions. However, this leaves Taka with his iconic scar over his eye. He then chooses to rename himself Scar as a reminder of his terrible mistake. Now this, I love. Maybe it's great, maybe it's nostalgia, but I'll explain why in a minute. But first, allow me to delve into Scar's new backstory featured in The Lion Guard on Disney Junior, and why I hate it. The show goes on to say that Scar was at one point the leader of the Lion Guards. This is a team of lions that protect the Pride Lands. Now, being the leader of the Lion Guards means you possess this power called the Roar of the Elders, which is basically a powerful roar. And one day, Scar stumbles upon a rogue lion who suggests that Scar should be king. Now, this guy leads Scar into a trap where a cobra bites his left eye, giving him his iconic scar. This lion then offers to cure the venom only if Scar is loyal to him. Scar instead kills him by using the roar. And when Scar tells his brother, Mufasa, essentially what happened, he instead taunts him and gives him his iconic nickname. It was here that Scar becomes jealous of Mufasa, and his hatred led him to go to the other Lion Guards to take down Mufasa so he would not be king. But they refused. So he used the roar on them, killing them all, but losing his power in the process. Now, this isn't awful, but it changes the dynamic of Mufasa and Scar, and ultimately makes the origin of the Scar somewhat weak. Now, allow me to compare these two tales. In the original book, we see Scar's jealousy was the catalyst for his downfall. His brother, chosen for greatness, while he was just second in command. He attempts to use his wits to outsmart his brother, and ultimately hurting himself and putting him in a position to be reminded of his failure for the rest of his life. In this story, Mufasa shines throughout, demonstrating why he will be a good king, and why we loved him in the first place. Instead of using power and brute to move Boma, he instead reasons with him. Instead of running for safety, he puts himself in danger to save his brother. Mufasa acts like a king. And it was also Scar that chose that nickname for himself as a reminder of what he did and how it was wrong. Now in The Lion Guard, they show a naive Scar allowing himself to easily get overtaken by a stronger rogue lion, and then getting bit by a snake. He wasn't jealous of Mufasa until the venom set in, which is never cured. But you see, my biggest issue is Mufasa, and how he's basically shown as a jerk making fun of his younger brother instead of sympathizing for him. And you kind of feel bad for Scar. Maybe Mufasa shouldn't be king. It undermines both characters and changes who they are. And yes, I know this is just a kid's show. It's designed to work within the canon, but it doesn't need to be taken as such. But it's funny to me how these little one-off books were handled better in terms of character development and staying true to who they were. But wait,
There is another.
we have one more origin story of how Scar got his scar. In the new live-action Lion King, when we are first introduced to Scar and Mufasa, there's a brief line that implies that Mufasa and Scar both had a duel and fight over Sarabi, in which Mufasa obviously won, leaving his brother with his scar. And this, I have to say, is pretty cool, and I like this a lot. They didn't have to add this, but it was a cool little one-off line. But what do you think? Which Scar origin do you like best, or how would you have written it differently? Let me know to be featured in the next episode of Scrap. But everyone, it feels so good to be back, and stick around because I'm gonna continue doing these villain type videos as we get closer and closer to Halloween. But it's great being back, guys, and it feels even better to say this next thing. I'll see you guys next time in the next video, and you have just been crisscrossed. Peace out. Love you guys.